Hey, what is up, guys? This is Platinum Point, and I'm here to bring you guys yet again another Weiss Schwarz deck profile. This time, this is going to be an update on Saekano, aka How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. So this deck, it took me a while to kind of gather the pieces because, for one thing, the pieces that I was looking for were really difficult to find. So that's one reason why it took a little while, and also I just wanted to continue testing after WGP since we had back-to-back Spring Fests. So really didn't have a chance to kind of showcase what I've been up to. So before we get onto the deck profile, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. And if you guys want to see a set for me to deck tech and profile, please comment below what you would like to see. My goal is to reach 1K, so I'm looking forward to pumping out more content for you guys to enjoy. So subscribing and hitting the notification, it really helps a lot. So back to the original point that I wanted to mention, that this deck went through a lot of changes after the WGP because I wanted to really restructure this deck in order to make it work better in the post-ban list meta, since after the WGP, sets like Kaguya-sama Love is War came out. What's another notable set? Oh yeah, the recent Simple Gear release and The Day I Became a God also came out. So the meta in the Japanese format has been shifting a lot, and I've noticed Saekano actually dropped in play after the WGP season. So I wanted to see what I can do to kind of adapt to the ever-changing meta. So this is what I have right now. So this is still Gold Bar door, but with a new twist. Or rather, not a new twist, but a revival of an old twist, which is the goal of this deck is to basically generate as much memory compression as you can while still thinning out your deck for playables and mitigating your damage until you hit level 3 to close out with the 3-2 Kato from set 2. So let's get on to the deck profile, starting with the level 0, shall we? So I play 4 copies of the set 1 Rize. So this card I was searching for a while, since I became aware of this promo when set 1 was near its end, set 1 Saekano. So what this Kato does is, when it's pretty much the same thing as this one right here that you saw from my WGP deck, but the difference is the attack power and the color. So what this Kato does is, when it gets reversed, you may look at the top 3 cards of your deck, up to the top 3, by the way, and then select a game character from among them, add it to your hand, and then discard a card. It also has a second ability, which is different from this Kato, which is when this card is sent from the stage to the waiting room, you may select this specific 3-2 Kato from set 1 and shove it into memory. So this is basically your main these two are your main your initial form of memory compression, since you get to shove this for free and it's not gonna leave the memory anytime soon. So you're just basically playing the 3-2 to be shoved into memory in order to build up your memory for your end game condition. So we play 4 copies of that. So I'm gonna put it right there. Next, we play 4 copies of the drop search entity. So when this comes into play, you give a game character on your board plus 2k. And when this gets reversed, you may pay 1, discard 1 card, send this to memory, and search your deck for another game character. So this is your second form of memory compression, and it's also really good throughout the game because of the 2k pump that it gives. So it allows you to answer very troublesome lanes. Next, we play 3 copies of this Utaha Rickey. So her condition is when she gets reversed, you may pay 1, put the top card of your deck into clock, and send this to memory to salvage a game character. So this is your form of selective salvage, and it's probably one of the better Rickeys that this set has. Next, we play 3 copies of the set 2 Kato Search Brainstorm. So this Brainstorm changes into the 101 during your main phase, so you can send this to waiting room at any point and call the 1-0 from your waiting room onto stage where it was in the same position that this card was. So it's a pay 1 tap self for every climax revealed off the mill 4. Search your deck for a game character. And then lastly, for the zeros, we play 2 copies of this level 0 Michiru. So when this attacks, you can give another character plus 1k, and when it gets reversed during your opponent's turn, you may pay 1, re-rest it, and at the beginning of your next encore phase, you can shove this into memory. So this is another card that goes into memory, and this is essentially there to replace the JC that we lost. And then now to the 1-step, we play 4 copies of the Kato Oboro combo. If you guys remember, she basically gains plus 1k if you control 2 or more other game characters. And on climax combo with the gold bar, pay 1 twin, it gains the ability pay 1 twin drive check, and during your opponent's battle step, if this card gets front attacked, you bounce it to your hand. So this is your main form of utility at the 1-step, and you basically use this to basically reuse it as a playable to slam in for more damage. Next, we play 4 copies of the 1-0 Brainstormer that changes from the 0-0, and it also has another change ability that you can pay 1, send this to memory when you're at level 2 to play this 2-1 from your waiting room onto the same slot. So, and it's also during my turn a 500 to characters in front. So this is your second Brainstorm of the deck. Next, we play 2 copies of this 1-0 event, which has the ability rest 2 of your game characters, search your deck for a game character and add it to your hand, and then shove a game character from your waiting room into stock. And it has the condition that the characters that you rest with this cannot restand until the start of not your next turn, but the following turn. So you have to wait a total of 3 turns in order to reuse your restand your character. So that's the downside of this. But since most of the cards that you're going to be resting are cards that will run away into memory, either run away to memory or go away through change, like this 0-0 and this 1-0, you really don't have to worry about the negative effect of waiting 3 turns in order to restand them, since they're going to be just shoved into memory to bypass it. Lastly, we play 1 copy of the Entity Anti-Standby level 1 Beat Stick. So when it faces a level 2 character, or rather the first part of its ability is if you control a character in your memory, it gains plus 2/5, and the ability when this attacks a level 2 or battles a level 2, it gains plus 6k. So this becomes a 12/5 on its own, and with climax combo and a full board, it can easily reach 14k. So it allows you to answer Data Life, since they play a lot of 2/2s and even Kaguya-sama. So this helps you win that lane and basically push for more damage. For the level 2s, we play 2 copies of the free fresh backup. I couldn't find another copy of this specific one, so I had to opt into the set 2 one, which is the Utaha one, but they essentially are the same thing. And then lastly, we play 4 copies in terms of level 2. Lastly, for level 2, we play 4 copies of the 2-1 Kato level assist. So you can call this to stage from waiting room if you, during your climax phase, you send this to memory. And when you're at level 3, this has the ability at the start of your climax phase, you may pay 1, shove this into memory, and play the 3-2 from waiting room onto stage in the same position that this card was in. So it's basically essentially a ride chain. So this is essentially a ride chain that ends up at this 3-2. So now that we're showing this 3-2, we can start off with the 3-2. So we play 4 copies of the set 2 Kato finisher. So she gains, her first ability is that she gains the following abilities depending on the number of cards in memory. If you have 2 cards in memory, it gains plus 2k. If you have 3 or more, it gains the ability when this card battles your opponent, they cannot play a backup. And if you have 4 or more cards in memory, it gains the ability this card cannot be selected by your opponent's card effects. So it gains hexproof. So this is essentially Mikasa with the Armin backliner, except all in 1 card. And it's like Mikasa because it also has a very potent climax combo with finish ability, which combos with the door, which makes it even better, which is on reverse, you may pay 1, burn 2. So this is your main finisher of the deck. With the other level 3s, we play 3 copies of the set 1 Kato. I could play 4 in order to increase the likelihood of adding it, but since this deck is really tight in space and I wanted to have more playables to use instead of having bricks, I decided to play this at 3, and you still see it at 3 pretty often, but mainly the main goal of this one is to be shoved to memory by the Rize. And then lastly, we play 2 copies of the early play heal. So this is the deck in full display. So I hope you guys like this form of deck profile and deck tech. I will be doing more videos in the near future, and if you guys want to see a detailed this deck list in writing, check out the link, check out my Encore Decks page, and you will see this deck on my tabs, and you get to and also we'll go into detail with the effects in specificity. So if you guys want to see this deck profile, this deck in action, please like the video, and I will probably showcase, post a live, not a live match, but a match with this deck, me playing this deck and showing you how this deck works. So once again, this is Platinum Point. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and peace out, YouTube.